Whatever. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick. I'm back. I'm alive, and I feel better than ever. It's great to see all of you again. It's been 2 weeks since I last spoke to you on YouTube. If you probably already read the title of this video, I did contract coronavirus. On August 20th, I tested positive for COVID, and I knew right away I was going to make a video to progress my whole quarantine experience, not only for entertainment, but because I know a lot of you have not faced COVID yet. Hopefully not. Hopefully you don't face it at all. But you want to get another point of view as to what actually goes down when you have COVID. Or you may have already had it and want to compare the symptoms, the scenarios between the two. And that's why I'm here. So, I'm going to give you my point of view. So, before we even begin, you and I both know that I'm not a doctor. I know I shouldn't have to say this, but you and I both know I'm not a doctor. And because I have had COVID, I'm on the other side of COVID now. That does not make me an expert, especially since I only had the mild version of coronavirus. The only thing that I didn't face during my quarantine was breathing issues. So I can't call myself an expert if I didn't even have breathing issues during this. So if you have any questions about coronavirus, I highly encourage you to call your doctors, because they know everything that there is to know about COVID, and it will help you out in the future. All right, let me put these anti-COVID people to sleep with my COVID experience. So if I think back, my first official day with COVID was actually August 20th, but I actually started feeling something on the 19th, and it was late at night. I started coughing for no reason at all. Like, I was assuming my throat was itchy, just kind of thirsty, but I kept coughing like every 5 minutes. I didn't think nothing of it. I knew it was going to go away. So now here we go, day one officially, August 20th. I wake up in the morning with feverish feeling and a killer headache and itchy throat again, but primarily the fever. I started taking my temperature. I actually have this little device, and I'm so grateful that I had this. I was using this every single day of COVID. Yes, it is a little bit pricey, but it is worth the buy. For me, I think it was somewhere from 20 to 30 bucks. Best 20 to 30 bucks I've spent ever. So I highly encourage you get that. So anyway, I checked my temperature, but my temperature was like 98. So I didn't think nothing of it. What actually happened was my dad had previously had like pains in his back. And he went to the doctor, and they gave him a COVID test. This was 3 days prior to my positive test. So because of that, we had to quarantine him. He was first, and I went to take care of him. I was taking care of him for 3 days, which is probably how I got COVID, was from my dad. But we didn't know he had it until the day that I found out. He took a test on the 17th, and he didn't get his test results back till Friday, when of course everything went down. I had the symptoms. My fever actually went up. I finally had a fever of 101.5. And so I just went upstairs to my room and just kind of blocked myself off. There was a good chance I probably had it. And I had the stuffy nose too. I had stuffy nose congestion already right off the bat. So my COVID symptoms hit me right off the bat. My dad finally gets his results, and sure enough, they were positive. He tested positive the same day I did, but he got his test prior, so he actually had COVID 3 days in advance. and because I was taking care of him, and I should have been a little more precautious. I should have had a mask on at all times, and I didn't. That's how I got COVID. And because of us two, everybody else in the house ended up getting it too. So, and we'll break it down right now. My mom, obviously, mom and dad, so she gets it the next day, day number 2 for me. By the way, the fever only lasted 1 day. I took some pain relievers. You can take either Tylenol or Advil. I don't hear a lot of people talk about ibuprofen, so I'm not going to suggest it. But you take that for 24 hours. You don't want to do one and done, because if you push it to the side, your fever can come back. So even if you break your fever, you still need to keep that medicine going in you for 24 hours, and then you'll be in the clear. And I felt my fever break, like the sweats just came out of me. So, fever broken on day 1. That was the last time I had a fever, but the chills still stayed in my body for like 5 more days. So moving on to day number 2. How I found out I was positive, we got an at-home kit, and mine came up positive. So I needed to get an official copy saying I tested positive from the doctors. I go to my urgent care and get my paper, so that says I officially had it. So day number 2, I finally get myself set up for quarantine. I'm in my room. The only thing to my disposal is my TV, which had very sucky internet connection. So I don't know how I survived 5 days in there. I did have access to a bathroom that was directly across from my room, so that was good. But I just had to stay in there. And I went stir crazy without going stir crazy, if you know what I mean. So, for those first couple days, my symptoms that continued with me was the body chills. And I was wearing like 2 layers of clothing. I had a long sleeve shirt, and I dug out my thermals for my bottoms, and then I put on a sweater and sweats. And still I felt the body chills throughout the whole thing. Congestion. You could probably still hear my congestion. I get sick about 3 or 4 times a year. It's just my allergies. My allergies are really bad. But when I got COVID and this congestion wanted to hold on for dear life. So I'm still coughing up stuff, but it's taking longer than normal. That's fine. I'm still gonna wear a mask when I'm out there, so when people hear me cough, it's like, well, I have a mask on. I'm not trying to like cough near you. If I cough, I'm gonna go to the side and I'm gonna go cough over there. So that happened. Oh, and then this is the part where I knew for sure it was COVID. My lower back had this weird pain, and like I said, I've been sick. I get sick like 3 or 4 times a year. I'd never had anything like this. My lower back, and I felt it like towards my kidneys, that I'd never felt before when I was sick. So that's how I knew it was COVID right there. And that lasted for about 5 days, 5 to 6 days. And I only felt it when I was laying down. So if I was laying down or laying on my bed, that would be the only time I felt it. But when I got up to walk, it was a different story. So these symptoms, once I've had them, they start going down, but it's steady for the most part. Like my symptoms kind of stayed for like a couple days. But the body aches finally went away after a few days, and so did the fever chills. So that's how I knew I wasn't going to be contagious anymore, because I didn't feel feverish and I didn't feel the aches. Also, too, the reason that this could be going on for a while is because I'm here in California, so we got we're dealing with all the fires right now, and so the smoke just keeps coming here and there. So this could be going on for longer. Oh, and coughs too. Like I get coughs eventually. Today I think I've only coughed like 2 or 3 times, whereas earlier on I was coughing like crazy. And like I said at the beginning, the breathing, I I kind of felt something here one day, like maybe a little tightness, but that was it. As opposed to like actual problems breathing, I didn't really have issues. The only thing was that I'm a person that likes to be up and going, so when I had to put everything to halt and just stay in one place for a long period of time, that kind of got my heart beating a little bit, and I was like, come on, I gotta do something. Like, I'm gonna go crazy. Also, too, at times I felt like I didn't want to stand for too long. Like, I wanted to sit back down and relax. I know a lot of people have talked about that. Oh, and then we get down to the smell and the taste. So this is another key factor in COVID. When people said they lost their smell, I began to think, okay, maybe they're only talking because they are congested. Because when you have congestion in your head, you can't smell nothing. But then I was able to, like, I sound stuffy, but I can actually breathe through my nose. So, and it turns out I did lose my smell. So, I did like the soap trick. I got a bar soap that has a scent. Couldn't smell that. So, food, couldn't smell it. Now, my taste, I think about half of it went away. Now, I was still able to taste salty foods, sweet foods, and most meals. So, I'd say it was mildly affected. So I had, like, my taste is half there. Now, for those of you who have questions about the taste and the smell, your smell and taste will come back when it wants to. That does not mean you're contagious. Like, just give it some time. It will come back to you. The thing that people are looking for is that you don't have a fever, and you don't have the aches, and you're not coughing like crazy. Unless you had breathing issues. Then you could be coughing for a little bit. But mine is fine. I know mine was just one and done. So I pretty much had all the symptoms aside from the breathing issues. So roughly about, the CDC says about 10 days you're not contagious anymore. And I'd say that's about right, because after day 10, I was feeling, my body was back to normal. My temperatures were okay, and my aches were gone. Now, in my house, we keep our house cold. So if I'm not immune to the cold, like if I feel like extra super cold, that's how I know something's wrong with me. That's my indicator. So once my body is back to normal, I can actually walk around with my shirt and my summer shorts on and feel nothing. I feel fine. So that's how I knew that my body was back to normal. So right now, talking long term, the only problem that I have right now is the stuffiness. I'm still trying to cough stuff up. It's not going to come out all at once. It's going to come out little by little. And then the smell and the taste are going to take a minute to come back. But that's about it. So that's my, so that's kind of my journey and how I was over the last couple of days. I'm filming this video right now. It's been 13 days since I tested positive. So I'm pretty much out of the clear. I'm pretty much good. All right. So now your question probably is, okay, so I have COVID now. What do I do to suppress it? What do I do to maintain it? Okay, well, let me tell you what I went through. And again, talk to your doctor about what to do, what you should be taking. But I'm just going to tell you what I did. Okay, this may not work for you, but you could use my video as like research. If you watch a couple other videos. So I actually have some right here, to be honest. So I have a bottle of magnesium. So I heard a lot of people say use magnesium. It's a really good vitamin. I actually took about like maybe 5 vitamins. If you're not a person that takes vitamins, I was a little bit of a skeptic. Like, I feel scared taking like more than 2 vitamins. Like, if I have to take 5 at once, I'm like, oh, that's a little scary. So But yeah, so magnesium is one to take. Zinc is a really good one too. Um, Now a lot of people are talking about ginger root. Apparently ginger has been the one common vitamin amongst all the COVID stuff. But ginger root is proven to be good. I took that as well. My vitamin C, I took vitamin C vitamins. That's what you get from oranges. But I'm one of those few people who can't handle acidic foods, so orange is off the table. But luckily they make vitamins to where you can get your vitamin C. Also, I have some vitamin D calcium. See, I actually started this before I even got COVID, like maybe a month or two, because my vitamin D levels were really low, and I started taking these again once COVID hit. So I added that to my list. So I think I named off about 5 vitamins. Yeah, 5 vitamins that I took during COVID. So that's a good source. Now for the back pain and the body aches, you can take the I did all my stuff over the counter. You can do the Tylenol or the Advil. It's up to you. But I found one. We actually had pills for arthritis. Now, nobody, I don't think in my family has arthritis. But arthritis, if you are not aware, I believe is one of those conditions where you get like really bad aches, like on a regular basis. So we found out that the arthritis pills actually helped a little bit. It actually did help get your body aches away. So if you feel those pains, I would talk at that one, the arthritis one, I would talk to your doctor about that before you start consuming them. Yeah, talk to your doctor about the arthritis ones before you just start taking them. And then once the body aches are gone, then you don't need them anymore. So, also too, my family has this little massager thing. It comes with like the ball at the end, and it's supposed to do like deep tissue, and it like just jams your body, like, you know what I'm talking about. So I did that on my lower back too, a couple times. That helped too. I thought it was gonna like kill me, and it didn't. So yeah, I think I've covered everything there is. Hopefully you found all my information helpful. Again, with the breathing, I'm sorry I can't help many of you who went through breathing issues. I'm very grateful that none of us in our family, I think my aunt was the closest one out of all of us who had the issues, because she ended up getting the COVID pneumonia. But she got over that real quick. Like, I'm surprised that she was able to get through that. But nevertheless, I am very grateful. Also too, let me just say God, I'm not a religious person, but let me say God is great. Like, I found myself talking to God a lot more than I normally do. I was grateful for every day that we were able to get through COVID. I just talked to God and let him know, please just let us get through this all. And just thank you. God is great. And I'm very grateful that we only had mild symptoms. So the state of our house, so I already told you about when me, mom, and dad tested positive. We had 4 more people in our household who ended up testing positive later on. My aunt was odd because she had the symptoms the same day I did, but she didn't get a positive test until like Sunday the 22nd, I think, 23rd. And then I think once she got her positive test, then both my cousins got positive, pretty sure that same day, that same Sunday. And that really sucks for my older cousin because out of everyone in the family, someone had to have a quarantine birthday, and it was my older cousin. His birthday was on the 27th. He turned 17. We were able to make him a cake and kind of just give him a dinner. So And I'm actually glad that we got COVID out of the way now, as opposed to now that we're heading to the end of the year. All the stuff's going on. I mean, we're still going to take our precautions and everything, but we're glad that we didn't get this during the holidays, on the good holidays, you know, because we have a lot of birthdays coming up in the next couple of months, and we have the holidays, so mine included, birthday. So right now, I think everybody is pretty much done. I think my older cousin, the one I told you about, I think he's almost done with quarantine. My uncle was the last person to test positive, so I think he will be done on the 10th, I believe. He's still going to be this week. He's still in quarantine, so. And he got most of the symptoms. He lost his taste and lost his smell. A lot of us lost our taste and smell, but no breathing issue. So I think that's everything that I've covered about my journey. I've missed being on YouTube. I'm glad that I got to tell you all this stuff. I'm ready to get back out there and start doing some videos, because Big Brother is still going on, and I missed 2 weeks of recaps, and I'm gonna cover all that. So there's that. I did post a couple of videos I made on my own. I posted those while I was in quarantine, while I kept my condition a hush-hush. But now you all know, so. And in case some of you think that I'm putting on a front right now, I always come equipped with receipts. So I have video footage of when I was in quarantine. I'm probably going to save that for the next video, because I'm going to put them all together, and you'll get to see it all up front. So, so that will be coming soon. Also during quarantine, I got my little fix of pumpkin spice coffee, so I'm very happy about that. So quarantine was not all bad. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions pertaining to COVID, anything you want me to answer, I might be able to answer some stuff. Again, I probably won't be able to help you out if you have any breathing issues, because none of us went through that issue. But yeah, just any other questions you have, feel free to email me or leave questions in the comments. Email me, Snapchat me. So now that I'm out and about, I'm going back to work, and I'm going to start getting my routine back to normal. So yeah, just feel free. I'm using this video just to kind of give you an idea on what I went through. You can use this as like research if you want to compare notes to another YouTuber who went through the same thing. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be scared. I'm very grateful to be one of the lucky ones to have survived COVID, and now that I'm on the other side, I've got the receipts to show to the people who still think it's a joke. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for waiting. I'm sorry 2 weeks is long enough. I'm ready to get back out there and have some fun, enjoy whatever summer is left, because now we're entering fall, and I'm just ready to get my life back on track. And I pray that now that we have had COVID, I pray that we don't get it again, because out of all the people I know one person in this world who has gotten it twice, and I don't want to be on that. I don't want to be on that side. I don't want to be on the COVID side, but now I don't want to be on the next side. I hope I hope that was a one and done. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting, and let's get back on track, and I'm ready to get the ball running. So see you soon.